go get this truly tiny. This is the tiniest banana ever. I haven't seen it fruit yet, but this supposedly gets only about 2, maybe 4 feet tall. Unfortunately, it's getting shaded out by this root beer plant. And then on the other side of it is the coconut mango tree. And then on the other side of it is the coconut mango tree, coconut cream. So eventually this is not going to get any sun whatsoever. I got a better spot for it. For now, I'm going to put it in a pot. Does not get much bigger than this. This is the perfect one to have, sort of. It's a potted indoor patio kind of banana. The fruit are edible. I haven't. It's not a good spot. So until I get bored of it or something else. But until then, it's just gonna stay in the pot. Add a bunch of soil to this. Hook it up with some of this good stuff here. That should do for now. I'm gonna just leave it here for now, because this is way too heavy to move. Alright, that was a truly tiny banana. Not sure what I'm gonna put there in its place, if anything. So hiding in here, though, I got a Pitomba. Eugenia something. This is a little beauty. So this is perfect for a high density planting. Pitomba. It is big enough to plant out now. Really can't think of the botanical name. It's a Eugenia something. I'm a real big fan of Eugenias. Many of them make some real delicious fruit, and I'm a big fan of cherries. So here in Florida, Zone 9B, that's pretty much as close as we can get to some cherries. So it's gonna be smushed right in between this sweet tart mango and this peach. It's a tropic snow peach. Super delicious, amazing. They only get small, not like your average like northern peaches, but in Florida you get some small peaches, but really, really good. Mainly because it's fresh off the tree. Most things taste good fresh off the tree. But especially peaches. If you've ever had like a Walmart peach or so, it's like you can't even compare it. Can't even compare it. But that's big inspiration behind growing my own stuff here. So I can get it fresh off the tree. Because too many times I've gone to some grocery store and got fruit and it's just not ripe enough. But before it gets a chance to ripen, they just go bad, and they're usually hard and sour. Alright, there we go. This could stay in the pot longer, but it's big enough to be planted out. So I'm gonna go for it. Squish it all around, loosen up this dirt. Usually what I do is flip it upside down, but let me see something here. Yeah, so I figured most of the dirt's just gonna come out instead of a nice big root ball. There we go. So Pitomba is a nice one for the understory, or high density food forest sort of settings. And it's getting to sort of all leveled out here. And what I need to do in the coming weeks is to get a nice load of mulch. Nice load of mulch and get like a nice little mulch layer going on again. Alright, got the water for it. This here I'm gonna plug. I don't need this stripper here. 2 gallons an hour is enough for this little thing here. Alright. And voila, amongst all this palm grass, it's gonna do just fine. They can handle somewhat of some shade, part shade, like most Eugenias can. The most shade is Jaboticaba. Jaboticaba can handle probably the most shade out of all these tropicals, but so this is why I'll put this one where it is now, because it gets more shade than the others here. More sun. So I'll show you where I'm going to put this Jaboticaba next. Tempted to plug that up now because I'm going to forget otherwise. Let me see. Let's adjust the watering there. Mosquitoes everywhere. Let's see. Just use these little guys to plug up the holes. And so I don't have irrigation on this property anywhere. So I've ran just miles of drip line, and everything I plant into the ground gets a dripper. And because I used to water the stuff by hand, and before I knew it, I was spending close to like 2 hours at least every week just on watering. So it quickly became a full-time job. Alright, there it is. Just plugged it in there, see? I can reuse this somewhere else if needed. It's so short. Probably not. All right, off to the next one, which is actually right behind this little swing here. Move that out. So I had bananas here. The Pitomba, where the Pitomba is now, there was a banana. And this is where the strawberry guava is. There was a pear, but it's just way too shaded for a pear in this spot here. So I'm probably might even be too shaded for the strawberry guava. So I got the strawberry guava here, but I'm gonna it has to be moved over some. So I'm gonna punch a new hole over here, move that sucker over. And I got a Jaboticaba right there, which also is gonna go into the ground here. This is the Scarlet Jaboticaba. And very slow growers, supposedly has real nice fruit. I don't know how well it'll tolerate our soil here. So we'll see. We shall see. But it's a beautiful tree. So I'm just now OCDing over whether I should leave the Jabo here or put it right there where the strawberry guava is. The strawberry guava is also very ornamental. Has a nice curb appeal to it. I'm gonna rip out this beauty berry right there. But I would say this spot here gets a lot more sun than this spot, because especially once this Jaboticaba gets bigger, it's gonna shade out the strawberry tree. But the strawberry tree will get some sun from this side, afternoon sun as the sun goes down. So not too sure right now. Since I gotta rip it up anyways, I think, yeah. All right, this is more shade tolerant than the strawberry guava. All right, logic dictates. Move the strawberry guava, and so I will. there she is. Strawberry guava. It's a Cattleya something. Leave that right there. I've never actually tasted it. I've had it for quite some time. Let's see if I can rip this beauty berry up here. See how well it's rooted. Oh, yeah, it's rooted way too well. Yikes. I'm gonna have to dig that up. Wow. Quite the scent. They say you can distill, make sort of like an extract. Out of these leaves, and they're very repellent, like bug repellent. So mosquitoes, for example, which is huge, something real good to have in these parts. Okay, let's see something here. 1, 3, so 3 feet away from that spot, which is almost there, but you know what, every foot counts here. So let me see where I got the water. I'll have to hook up a little bit longer, because Jaboticabas, they love water. So since I'm gonna plug this one up and make a new hole a little bit further down there. All right, let's do that. And this palm grass will fill in the empty spots in no time. It's quite prolific. So I love it as a ground cover. Man, I'm getting all sorts of scents here today. Usually I got raccoons all around me. I'd be surprised if I see them here later. They like to come out when I'm busy in the garden. Usually my little nighttime buddies, my garden buddies, when I do my insomniac food forest sessions. Alright, got that one plugged up. Too short. Plus I want to hook up a 2-gallon dripper. This is a 1-gallon dripper. There we go. Got a 2-gallon. Oh, question is, oh, there we go. Nice. And the cool part about using these little drippers is that if you ever have some type of, hey, got one pre-cut already. Got water restrictions due to drought, which we have at least once a year. They use so little water in comparison to flood irrigation or your classic sprinklers, that these are usually not included in those ordinances. You can still water with these. Plus eventually I want to hook it up to like a rain collecting system, you know, where I'll redirect the rain gutters from the roof to some barrels, and then hook up some kind of pump or so, or maybe, because this is a very sloped property, so if I can get it collected at the top of the property, then I can have, you know, just gravity kind of do the rest. All right, that fills in no time. Not worried about that. So I'll cover it with mulch. I'm gonna move over that way. Okay. Put this here for now. Give the scarlet a new home. It'll be fine here. It's gonna sprawl out here. It can grow all at once. All at once. All right, shovel. If I leave it in this spot, it's just a little bit too close to the guava. Let's dig in here. Just gotta miss this water hose. I'm notorious for breaking it. Should be good. One more shovel. There we go. All right, let me see if I manage to keep this darn water line intact. Yep. All right, good. A lot of roots there from this palm grass. Okay. Doesn't seem to be too competitive. There we go. Alright, so that's the Jabo right here. Just beautiful. And this is it's a hybrid. And you look at the leaves, I can definitely see some white Jaboticaba in the lineage here. Not really too sure what it's a hybrid of, but definitely it's got white in it. It's probably just a variation or a hybrid between the Sabara, the black Jaboticaba, and the red Jaboticaba. So the scarlet is just kind of a variation of that, really. It fruits really early, just within 3 years, and it stays very small and compact, slow grower. That's perfect for the spot, and in general, Jaboticabas, they can tolerate the shade very well, so this is a good spot for you. This is a good spot for it. Alright, push this up a little bit. Get this loosened. And I don't know what the root structure is like at the moment, so I'm hoping it's taken up most of the space in this pot. Judging by how much soil is coming out. Yeah, it's a bit much off the ground. Let me see. Roots are there. Yeah, I guess I could have gone maybe a little bit deeper. Let's see, it's flush there. Damn. There's no way it floods here because we're on top. Okay, hold on. Let's move this. I'm gonna take some more dirt out. Place this puppy right there. Where's the pot? Hey, earthworm. Nice, that's a good sign. Love to see you here. Let's make sure we keep you. Alright, hang out here for a moment. Alright, what did I do with the pot? Alrighty then, there it is. Wrong spot. Get some more dirt out of here. I just want to see it a little bit further inside the dirt. Earth. Lots of ants everywhere. Not so sure that they'll go after the roots. Alright, let's see if I like this more. Yeah, that's better. That's nice. So I'm gonna be throwing a bunch of mulch in here. Nice and straight. Okay. Don't be a perfectionist. Man, it's just so still higher than I want it to be. Darn it. Dang, alright, I thought I had it much lower. Nope. Gotta do it right, guys. Gotta do it right. Gotta do it right. Alright. Man. Get the shovel. Gotta do it right. Because if not, I'm gonna be thinking about it. Plus with the dripper, I gotta make sure the water gets on all the roots really good. Because the sand is not very forgiving when it comes to moisture. It just drains so well. That's why even with rain, I have to water at least once a week, despite it being rainy season. Dig back a bit. Now or nothing. Now or never. Set it back. Okay. All right. I hate having my back turned towards the jungle there. Always take a peek. Never know. Okay. Yes, it's partially paranoia. Well, it's not a bad thing to have sometimes. So all these ants and spiders, I just usually tighten up good here. All right, that looks much better. Nice and almost flush. Good. All right. The soil is away from the stem or the trunk, so it's not gonna rot. Now, let's punch a new hole in here for the. Oh, let's put our buddy back. Here you go. Create a little hole there. Throw him in. Cover him. All right, that's a good sign. Seeing some earthworms, some Regenwürmer. Jaboticaba escarlet. My red Jaboticaba fruited for me for the first time this year. That was super exciting, and I caught it by chance. By chance. Didn't really expect it, but I should have, really, because a lot of these hybrids, like the white Jaboticabas and the reds, they all fruit fairly early in comparison to the Sabara, which the Sabara can take upwards of, 10, 15 years. Yeah, leave that. Anywhere from, I guess, 10 to 20 years kind of thing, while the whites and the reds, maybe even the yellows, they can fruit all within 5 years, like 3 and up, or about 3 years. Okay, Java was in the ground. Welcome to your new home. It's a welcomed jungle addition. Let's kind of fill in this hole a bit. Let's throw some of this in here. And it's gonna get covered with mulch here. I'm gonna have to backfill slightly. And then put the strawberry guava there. So I don't mind having the strawberry guava front and center. Like I said, it's supposed to be very ornamental. And it does look nice. So, zwei Schippen noch. So. I've tasted the lemon guava, which is also a Cattleya guava. So there's the lemon and the strawberry Cattleyas. And you guessed it, lemon guava is nice and yellow. Well, the strawberry guava is sort of like a red purplish guava. And they're all very small. It's like a no bigger than a golf ball. No bigger than a golf ball. Okay. Some more. Oh, should be okay. Should be okay. And then, because I am going to add a layer of mulch eventually. I like to put like at least half a foot of mulch there. So, good. Right in front of this. There, so good. Right in front of this. Make a little hole for it. You can cover it with some good soil too. Make a little mound. Has some tiny root ball right now because make a little mound. Has some tiny root ball right now because I just transplanted it actually, and it was in there for almost a year before I decided to rip it up again. I must have moved this Cattleya at least 3 to 4 times already. But, you know, it's what it is, and it seems to be taking or handling these transplants quite well, actually. Surprisingly well. Let's go a little deeper. Let's go a little deeper. Okay, fine. Let me use the shovel. Use the tools if you got them. In you go. I'm gonna cut these off, these little suckers, and train it up into just a single trunk. Off these little suckers, and train it up into just a single trunk, like a lollipop. Dripper there. Okay. Oh, that looks good now. Sådär. Da haben wir noch eine. Wieder im Boden. Ah, come on. And yes, you can eat these raw. Let's make sure they're very ripe, fully ripe, where you make some jam. Really good. I mean, good is an exaggeration. They do not really taste like anything. Sugar makes everything taste better, or honey. Wouldn't consider this a food, but more like a snack. Anyways, all right. Guava. So we got our truly tiny potted up Guava, or strawberry guava, our scarlet Jaboticaba. All right, let's move on to the next one. The next one, I don't know yet, honestly, what I'm going to do here. So, and this is another spot that that gets afternoon sunlight only, maybe some dappled light during the day. And here we have the cherry of the Rio Grande, which is exquisite. I love the flavor of it. It tastes wonderful. It's probably the closest thing you can get to a regular cherry, without, if you cannot grow any regular cherries, kind of like the Grumichama, but I think I tend to prefer this one over the Grumichama. It has a much smaller seed than the Grumichama, has a lot more flesh. Yeah, more flesh to seed ratio there. And if it looks just like the Pitomba at the moment, but as this here matures, you can tell the difference by the bark. So they're both Eugenius. I guess this is the Calicinia, I want to say, or the I don't know. The Savannah cherry and the cherry of the Rio Grande are very, very similar. Very similar. But I think the Savannah cherry makes a little slightly smaller fruit. Otherwise, it looks very much the same. So, all right, it's either this cherry of the Rio Grande or the miracle fruit. If you don't know about the miracle fruit, that's that one when you eat it, everything that's sour tastes sweet for like at least 1 or 2 hours. I learned the hard way. I mean, I was expecting it, just didn't expect the degree of sweetness that it gives. It's really sweet. So your dinner's gonna taste sweet, your beer's gonna taste sweet, like a Radler, for example. It caught me off guard. I was not prepared. So, so this is an avocado, and to the right of it, I have the star fruit, the Srikambeng, and this is the Brockton. Let me see which avocado this is. It's nestled, right? See, I grow spinach as ground covers. This, I think, is it's bacon avocado. Okay. Suriname spinach. Very good. Kind of mucilaginous, so it's a little slimy. Got the miracle leaf. If you got any kidney stuff, like kidney stones, this is what you want to grow and eat. Got some pigeon pea here, has a nitrogen fixer, etc. A bunch of stuff packed into this. Right now there's a big open field because I just pulled out a bunch of Biden's alba. That stuff is everywhere, absolutely everywhere. And I think it's also edible, at the very least medicinal. So I don't know which one to put here, guys, girls. Cherry of the Rio Grande or the miracle fruit. I just don't know yet. Let's go with the cherry of the Rio Grande, huh? Yeah. Cherry of the Rio Grande. All right, cherry of the Rio Grande it is. I'll save this miracle fruit for a different spot. These guys are super slow growers. Very slow growers. That's why they're perfect for containers. So I don't mind even keeping it in the container for a long time. But I already have 2. I have 3 in a container, so I don't mind planting one. But because it's such a slow grower, I might actually have a better spot for it. So, alright, decision made. Let's move this gun out here for now. I think it's actually... Did I just see some flower? Yeah, there you go. It's starting to flower, so we should be seeing some fruit here soon. This is probably the largest one I have, but it took a hit. I'm not sure what happened to it, but it took a while for it to sort of flush back out and fruit. I have a smaller one that's super dense and gave me so much fruit, so much fruit this year. Okay. Where am I going to put it? Let me make sure I'm 6 feet away at least from this avocado here. 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, it's a good spot. I usually plant most things 6 feet apart, but I usually alternate between something as big as an avocado or a mango or white sapote and put something smaller as a buffer. In this case, this year doesn't grow super big. It stays very compact. So this is between the starfruit and this avocado, which both get very big trees, become very big trees. So Eugenias can handle part shade, or somewhat shade. And so between those trees, it's going to get shaded out a little bit. So, but I'm hoping it's still, it's not going to get, the fruiting is not going to get hugely impacted. So let's punch a hole in here. Keep misplacing my shovel. Whew. Yeah, I suffer allergies, seasonal allergies, so this is not the best hobby to have. If you suffer allergies or if you don't like bugs. Let's go right here. I harvested a bunch of hemi-eye bamboo from somebody I know. He kind of cleared out or thinned out his patch, and I helped him. I freed him of some of that bamboo that he cleared out. Plenty of stuff I can do with it. Working on a tree house, so I think that's gonna look nice, using some bamboo for the tree house. Little bridge, walls, whatever. Okay, I think that might be deep enough. I think it's deep enough. Let's go deeper. That's the lesson learned for today here. Alright, that should be okay. So, let's see. A little too low. That's right, we'll spread it up a little bit. Upward. There you go. Move some of this dirt out. So again, I'm just gonna be covering this in a big old layer of mulch. I leave a little bit of the roots just very flush with the soil. So you don't want to plant things too deep, because that's usually, you'll get root rot, etc. And I use branches usually to outline wherever I plant, trunks and so on. All right. So yeah, this rest here is gonna wash out and get buried by mulch. So I got a bunch of things I'm gonna propagate. Some more spinach in here, edible hibiscus, etc. A bunch of stuff I use for ground cover. So, all right, well, now the problem I'm running into is this dripper is not reaching the... Let's see what's going on here. Oh, there are two drippers. Okay, let's do this. I'm gonna rip this one out. It's like a 1 gallon dripper. And we'll rip this one out. Oh no. This thing just came off. Yeah. Come on. Alright, I'm gonna need a pair of pliers here. Yeah. Well, maybe I have this tool. This might work. We'll give it a try. I need something to plug up the old hole. We might be able to reuse this little dripper. Alright, it worked. So I'll plug up that one. Okay. Put this thing back in here. What's that right there? Yeah, this pops up here. Technical difficulties. All right, perfect. This reaches. That reaches. Nice. All right, I'm excited about this one because I really like the fruit. Eugenia. I really got to get better with these botanical names. I want to say Caldusinia, but I think that's the Saverna cherry, not the cherry of the Rio Grande. It's like whatever. I'm not even gonna try. Cherry of the Rio Grande. All right. It's another tropical down for today. And more pots for the collection. I'll find a different spot for the miracle berry. I'll find a different spot for the miracle berry. There we go. All right. Insomnia food forest session. This is Zen time for me. No mosquitoes. Oh, this is the other miracle fruit I was talking about. On some flowers. Oh yeah. Yep. This one's going to be a huge crop again. So this is on some flowers. Oh yeah. Yep. This one's going to be a huge crop again. So this is my baby right there. It's such a great grower. I mean, the other side doesn't look like that. It's a little, because it's, facing the sun. So that's just the backside of the shit. But yeah, that's just the backside of the shit. But yeah, I'm keeping this in the pot. Because it's just, it's doing so well. And if it's doing so well, why mess with it? So I am going to put this other miracle fruit into its new home for now until I pop it in the ground. But what I like to do is I'll grab one and leave it in the pot, put it where I think I want it, and just see how well it likes it there. Oh, I can see my breath. That's crazy. All right. Plop this thing right in here. Hey, look at that. I got a busted drip line. I'm glad I checked. Let me go get a... Hey. Prop this thing up here. It's not gonna work for me there. Let me see if I can reuse this tie. It's a bit flimsy. Alright, let me fix that dripper there too. So where it is now, it's very wind protected. It gets, it's pretty protected from the harsh summer sun as well and sweltering heat. But also it's protected in the winter. This is the spot here. It's got a nice little microclimate going on. It's right next to this big Muntingia calabura, which is a big strawberry tree. Or is it Jamaican cherry? It grows these things here. Super delicious. Tastes like cotton candy. Very sweet. So it protects it from the sun big time. It'll give it dappled light. So we'll see how it likes it there. If it does like it here, this is where I'm going to plant it next time, because this is such a slow and compact grower. Perfect spot. Right next to a papaya. and a ginberry. If you guys haven't heard of this ginberry, hey little lizard, if you never tried it, this tastes just like gin. Perfect for like mocktails or whatever. So, and here I have some other ones that enjoy part shade or filtered sunlight, like this blackberry jam fruit. And this looked like a little Charlie Brown tree for a long time, because where it was getting blasted by the sun, blasted by the wind, and it just does not like it. And since I put it here, it's just put on such a nice new flush. Another lizard there. I like that these lizards hang out on there because they eat all the bugs. Same with the starfruit. They tend to do better in the understory here, I noticed. Because I guess the sun is just too intense here in where I live. And especially with this one, I had this one here sort of in the back patio area where it was just getting blasted by the sun all day long and the wind. And so it was, see, as you can tell here, it died back completely back down to here. So it died back completely back down to here. So I'm gonna have to cut this here. But it's going to be another video where I'll go and do a bunch of. But since putting it here, it's put on just a whole new flush, which is wonderful. This is a dwarf starfruit, dwarf maher, M-A-H-E-R. Never tasted it. It's supposed to produce like more sour fruit. So we'll see. Hopefully I'll taste it. I've had it for 4 years at least, and never once has it fruited. It's put on some flowers here and there, but I just never had it in a good spot. So I'm not gonna plant it here. It's gonna stay in the pot for forever, really, because it's a dwarf. This is the Carrie. On the other hand, I am gonna eventually find a spot for it, but this year has fruited for me non-stop. I mean, non-stop. This tiny little thing. It's maybe 2-3 feet tall, and I've harvested a ton of starfruit off it already. Delicious too. Delicious. This has fruited for me once, but I didn't get to taste the fruit. So hopefully next season's gonna put on a nice crop. It just hasn't been happy yet. Hasn't been happy yet. All right, let's get the shovel and move on to the next one. I think I have another scarlet in here. Yeah, doesn't matter. Bigger one though, but I'm keeping that one in a pot to fruit. I do want to plant out some dragon fruit as well. We'll see if I get to it this tonight. Got a perfect spot for it. All right, that's 4 down, really. Cherry of the Rio Grande, Jabo Scarlet, Strawberry Guava, and Pitomba hiding in there. All right, I got two to go, maybe 3. We'll see. find something to do with all these bananas I got left over. Oh, that's right. Honey jar jujube. Gotta find gotta find a new home for that as well. I meant to fix that sprinkler. Let's do that right now. Oh, you know what? I'm just gonna plug that in the way it is. Yeah, why not? Because I'm not gonna use these short things here. Alright. Let's use a 2-gallon. One thing I want to practice more and get better at, or good at to begin with, is grafting. Especially because I have just so many varieties and limited space. I need to make more use of the trees I have. For example, this mulberry here, and I have like 5 or 6 different mulberry varieties. So I would love to just graft all the varieties I have onto this giant black mulberry here. Plus it's nice to, have backups just in case something happens to the other ones. Ew, big old roach. But yeah, I'd love to have sort of like a citrus tree with like 5 different varieties on it, or etc. Or some like anonas, cocktail tree of anonas. Okay. Hey. Hey, with the weed whacker. Fixed it. I do have to do, in general, some more water, like fix or adjust different spots with the water. Oh. Gotta fix this here, actually. Oh yeah, this is gonna be nice. This is the Ceylon gooseberry, and it is putting on a ton of flowers right now. It fruited for me for the first time last year, and this is sort of related to a cactus. It has thorns on the undersides of the leaves, and it grows some real thick, long thorns, like along the trunk and so on. But what's really cool about this one is that you can eat the leaves. It's part of a salad or by itself. A little bit mucilaginous, but they have a ton of protein and nutrients, minerals, etc. Just really, really good. And the fruit was actually pretty good. It's if you like tangy, sour stuff. So, but this is one you have to maintain. You cannot let this one get out of control, because it will take over your yard, and good luck claiming it back, because it's super thorny. So as it's growing, I've been kind of training it up this trellis. Let me see, where's this one coming from? Okay, right there. Yeah, super thorny. So yeah, it gave me one, not just one, like several fruits last year. But this year it's putting on a show, so it's going to be a heavy crop this year. Actually, I'm very excited about that. And it's such a novelty. It's new to me, you know. Okay, let's see if you can stay there. Maybe I'll put you one up. No. I'll wrap you around here. Same with this. Where's this coming from? Nice. And that one on top. Alright, well anyways, I'm going to leave it alone for now because I'll need some ties to put it around this little fishbone trellis. I'm just going to... I've been letting it grow sort of around it. Now with this rainy season here, it's really put on a lot of growth. So, awesome. Alright, what's not so awesome is that my Satsuma mandarin in here, hidden in all this junk, it got so shaded out and crowded out by all of these, I don't want to call it weeds because they're not weeds, it's just arrowroot. And there's a lot of arrowroot. And arrowroot you can use sort of as a cornstarch substitute. And I'm just like, you know what I mean? It's cool, but times are not calling for such crop right now. Yeah, check out these tubers here. So that's another problem. It's just so prolific. It will grow from tubers like that. But it really crowded my Satsuma here. So all this, I mean, this was such a nice little lollipop bushed out tree. And it died back so hard. Just because it couldn't handle being shaded out like that or crowded by all this stuff. It was just not happy. Oh yeah, and then I got this huge edible hibiscus. Whoa. Something jumping out at me there. Little frog. So this is an edible hibiscus. Tastes pretty good, tangy. Beautiful yellow flowers, also edible. So that's a fun tree to have. I prefer that over the arrowroot because you can eat the flowers, the leaves, you know. Make it nice showy salad or edible garnish, whatever. But it's just really I prefer my Satsuma mandarin here to be happy. So just by ripping these out, I'm not preventing this from growing back, but I'm going to go back in there another time with the shovel. So check this out. So this is, I guess, what you let dry, and you'll turn it into powder, which you can use then as a thickener, like a sauce thickener or so. Probably has other uses too, but from what I saw online, that was kind of like the main theme there, and like not worth the real estate. It was nice as a little ground cover for a while, but or maybe even to help it create some or maintain some little microclimate. And I'm also gonna whack this hibiscus down way down. This thing gets huge and it sprawls it sprawls like crazy. So this poor mandarin here just couldn't keep up with the competition around there. So this hibiscus is gonna go. I'm either gonna take it out or cut it way back down to the ground, and if it grows back, it grows back. But I'm gonna find a better spot, and luckily, it's as easy as, you know, taking a cutting of it and sticking it in the ground somewhere, and it'll grow into a new one. So that's no big deal. I have a better spot for it. But yeah, this is all dead. This is all dead, and it survived here. So got a new one that grew here, and a new one from down here. And I gotta double check, but I think that's above the rootstock. I gotta take a closer look here to make sure this is really above the rootstock. But either way, this is too low on the trunk for me, so I'm going to be cutting all this off, and I'll nurture these little suckers here, and hopefully it'll create a new canopy from there. But man, I was just so bummed, because for a while I didn't realize that I kind of let everything here get so überwuchert, so out of control, and it was just completely covered by Biden's alba and grasses, and yeah, bummer. I gotta stay more on top of this one here. I'm just glad it survived, so hopefully it pulls through and becomes a nice lush tree again. That'd be a shame. I'd hate to lose a nice satsuma, because I had one fruit off of it, and it was just beyond delicious. The skin came all off, really clean, like zipper skin, so just awesome. It's a pineapple right here. This sweet potato leaf, which is also edible. Very, very nutritious also, sweet potato leaf. So come this winter, I'm gonna do some more cleanup. And here, once everything kind of starts to die back. Macadamia tree, I have it mainly, it did flower for me, so I'll probably see, it's pretty tall by now. It's at least 7 feet tall, 8 feet. But luckily it started to create a nice little canopy here, so I was gonna actually cut it way lower. I might still, I don't know yet. But I want this to be sort of nice kind of canopy kind of tree. But the main reason I have it in here in the middle of this food forest section is that it's a nitrogen fixer. So it pulls nitrogen from the atmosphere and deposits it in its roots and etc. So via that and chop and drop, you're benefiting all plants around here. So this is a very dense area here with bananas and a bunch of different fruit trees and a bunch of different edibles and so on. So just like this hibiscus here, which I'm gonna basically cut it way down, might even take it out, and then I'm gonna use this trellis here to train my dragon fruits up. I have like 5 varieties of dragon fruits, and I'm gonna let them kind of grow up this trellis here. Maybe even this structure. I had a kiwi berry, the hardy kiwi growing up here, but no, regular kiwi, but it just gets way too hot here for regular kiwis. They were not happy. They had hung in here for a long time, and then after 2 years, 3 years of struggling, they finally gave up the ghost there. So I'm going to put a dragon fruit here and one on the other side. Yeah. All right, back to fruit trees. Back to planting fruit trees. I fixed the water. I'm gonna fix one more water spot. Plant some more rarities here. tropical goodness. I do have a peanut butter fruit tree that I'm trying to find a home for, so we'll see. Not today, though. We got plenty for today. So I have a pear tree, a peanut butter fruit tree, and miracle fruit that I'll be planting out soon as well. But for now, let's start off with, we got this puppy right here. This is a Grumichama. And this is the black variety. I think I have the yellow one as well. Maybe. I have to wait for it to fruit again. It finally fruited for me for the first time this year, but the fruits turned out to be somewhat dark, so I'm not too sure whether it's a yellow or it's labeled as a yellow Grumichama, but the fruit didn't look all that yellow. We'll see. I do have the black cherry, the black fruited Grumichama as well. That was pretty good. Big seed though. So we'll see if it can only get better as time goes on. Oh, here we go. So Florida is chock full with edibles and medicinals. I mean, I'm not gonna go into colonialism and then the destruction of, these habitats and so on, but this is a plantain which grows as a weed, and this is probably one of the healthiest herbs, weeds, plants that you can have in your garden. Big leaf plantain. Look it up. Just amazing. Make a tea out of it. You can even eat it, but I don't know. Just use the tea. I mean, anyways. Not going to get into it too much, but yeah. Powerhouse right here. Superfood. Plantain. Alright, so anyways, this is where it's going to go. Grumichama. Why here? This is a spot that gets sun all day long. But more importantly, it's a eugenia. It stays compact. It's a fairly slow grower. It's actually a very slow grower. And it's right next to a very vigorous mango. This is the Namdok Mai, number 1. Grows vigorously. So that's why the Grumichama here, it's going to be able to handle being partially shaded out by this mango. That's why the Grumichama here, it's going to be able to handle being partially shaded out by this mango tree. Mango tree, I have the lemon guava actually. So for the same reasons, it can handle, low light conditions and still put on a crop, still fruit. Same reasons, it can handle, low light conditions and still put on a crop, still fruit. So eventually this mango will kind of shade it out somewhat, give it dappled light. Time will tell. But also compact grower, perfect for big trees. So again, here I have what I call an anchor tree. This is Jajamun or Java plum. Delicious dry mouth. Gets huge. So I'm going to have to actually chop and drop this year soon, along with a bunch of other stuff. But anchor tree, small little compact buffer tree, mango, another anchor tree, followed by another buffer, small compact grower, the Grumichama. And next to it, anchor tree, followed by another buffer, small compact grower, the Grumichama. And next to it then is anchor tree. So I have 2 buffer trees. This one again is a avocado next to a feijoa. So avocado, feijoa, pomegranate, and this Grumichama. So balance. Let me get some soil. So here I had a banana, no, a China jackfruit, which is also considered an anchor tree. So that would have been just way too big and vigorous for this spot, unfortunately. It was in the ground for a year and it did fantastic. But it had to go. I potted it back up, and the pot's gonna stay for a while until I find a better suited spot for it. Let me see if I can, there you go, straighten that out. So, I could replant this plantain, but I have plantain growing throughout the yard. I just grab the seeds and just sprinkle it everywhere. It's a good one to have. And I don't use it nearly as often as I should. You know, one of these videos I'm probably gonna do sort of a walkthrough. What I'll do, I guess, is like get a bucket and I just pack it with a bunch of edibles, wash it, rinse it, and then hack it all small and add some, beans and peppers and so on. Just kind of make a jungle salad. But I don't do it nearly as often as I should. It's like having a gym at the house and never really using it. But that's kind of why I'm doing this, so I can connect with Mother Nature, and instead of going ew yucky, because it's something I'm not used to, whatever, it's like I'll be able to oh awesome, like this is medicine right there, not just food but also medicine. So, but right now I feel like I'm surrounded by food, and I think I would still starve when it comes down to it, because you gotta learn how to use the stuff. It's not enough to know you can eat this and it's edible, but where do you go from here? And it helps to have sort of and it's edible, but where do you go from here? And it helps to have sort of experienced folks that you can reach out to, or that they can kind of tow you in or guide you a little bit and kind of help you make that next step. All right, so this got a 2-gallon dripper in here. Usually I like to keep them above ground to make sure they actually work, but it's just this whole area is it's got a foot of mulch. So all these drippers were on mulch. Yeah, this is just a foot of mulch, and it's been in the ground long enough where it started breaking down. So if I dig deep enough here, it just gets darker and darker. So it's building soil. That's what it is. That's the key, really, to have some healthy fruit trees, because otherwise this is just sand. There's nothing in the sand. It's whatever you put in. So you put a layer of mulch on there, let that decompose and start to build sort of this microclimate. Here, wait for the fungal climate. Here, wait for the the mycelium take over. Wait for the mycelium take over, and then the bacteria and all that, all the microbes and so on. So once that starts to get going, you little whatever one, this is the thing to all right, Grumichama, Eugenia something else. I'm so bad with this stuff. I just got too many to Remember, I keep a list. Without the list, I'm aufgeschmissen, lost. Alright, sweet. I'm excited about this one here. Like I said, I really enjoy cherries, so I'm excited about this one here. Like I said, I really enjoy cherries, so it's another cherry in the ground. Now Gazati. So I'm kind of training it as a lollipop. As you can see, just a single leader, single trunk, and then I'll let it sort of bush out on the top. We'll see if I can keep up with that, because they naturally want to sucker out all over the place. So I've been just kind of breaking them off. But it naturally grows like in as a like a bush, like a large bush, sort of. So we'll see. If it's too much effort and work to keep the suckers cut, then I'll just let it do its thing and bush out again. So let's take it out of here. It's got a nice root ball. Okay. And here she stays. Throw some dirt on there. Yeah, I mean, I could. Here I am again. I could plant it lower. Yay, nay. Yay. Yep. All right. Let me take it. Create someone. Put it. Oh, smart. Put it in somewhat lower. So in here I had a banana, a veinticojo, which is like a dwarf type. It gets less than 10 feet. But for that I found a different spot. I sort of made a privacy, or making a privacy hedge out of using all the dwarf bananas I have. So that's done now. Now it's just kind of letting them root in, and yeah, it's better. It's more flush. Yeah, that's fine. Happy with it. I'll figure out what to do with that soil another time. Let me just dump it here for now. So, this is the remnants of this veinticojo I dug up. No, not veinticojo. Dwarf Orinoco. That's what it was, a dwarf Orinoco. Even though the veinticojo is also part of the dwarfs. There we go. it's all gonna settle. I may have to backfill some dirt. We'll see. But it's good the way it is for now. And it's just gonna get a ton of mulch in again. So hopefully within the next couple of weeks, I'll receive another load of mulch. All right, next. So we got our Grumichama in the ground, our Pomegranate, and next is our Grumichama in the ground, our Pomegranate, and next is our Garcinia intermedia or whatever. It's not the Braziliensis, because I don't think this one has the nipple on it. This is just the round Lemondrop Mangosteen, Garcinia. Anyways, Mangosteen, Garcinia. Anyways, the Brazilian until I can no more. Until I can no more. Time for that one to go in the ground. Oh, gotta fix this. Came prepared. Use the stuff he knows. Alright, I accidentally chopped this here in half when I excavated the dwarf lacatan, which is now also part of the privacy hedge. Gonna have to test the watering. I don't want this to pop off, but I have to do a cleaner cut on it. We'll see. Alright, let's excavate some dirt there. I actually tasted, or had the opportunity to taste some Lemondrop Mangosteen, and it's good. It's a snack, you know, it's not like, ooh, you know, my favorite fruit, and it's good. It's a snack, you know, it's not like, ooh, you know, my favorite fruit or anything. It's a fun to have, fun snack. It's tasty, refreshing. It's tasty, refreshing, salty. You know, name Lemondrop. Good description. But I like collecting Garcinias. I wish I could grow the real mangosteen, that purple mangosteen, but it just gets too cold in this area. So I have, like, the achacha grows fine here. It's survived the last 5 or 4 winters, no problem. It's gotten as low as 28 even, 32, almost 28, but where I planted it, it's right there where that miracle fruit is, so it's tugged away. It's got a nice little microclimate going on. Yeah, but where I planted it, it's right there where that miracle fruit is, so it's tugged away. It's got a nice little microclimate going on. It's pushing new growth. So it's been in this spot for about a week, and I just wanted to really see if it's old enough to handle the sunlight all day. So granted, it's not the summer yet, but I figured I'll ease it in, planting it in all day. So granted, it's not the summer yet, but I figured I'll ease it in, planting it in. I'm gonna take the chance and plant it in the ground here. A little fern at the bottom around here. A little fern at the bottom there. Let's see if I can get it upright. As upright as it gets. There you go. Nice and straight. As straight as I can get it. I think it's got a nice trunk going, so it should be fruiting. I'm hoping that it'll fruit actually the season coming up here. Next season. But since I'm just put it in the ground, I might skip next season, but hopefully the following. So within the next 2 seasons, this should definitely fruit for me. That's gonna be a fun one to have. Alright, this I'm just gonna backfill using this dirt I just took out. Yeah, this root can kind of stay where it is. I got some. Alright. It's the remnants of the lacatan here. Even though it says dwarf lacatan, it's a very vigorous grower. That's why I ended up taking it out of here and I put it inside as part of the food forest circle I got going on. So I've got different food forest sections. Leave that there. Garcinia intermedia, whatever. It's crazy. It's been so windy. This is the gold grower that I ripped out from a different area and moved it here, because up front here is where I'm planting all the big ladies, all the big and tall girls. And really got enough room here to sprawl out and live their best life. The thing is the wind. Since I just planted it, it's not very well rooted, so it's a little bit finicky right now. It keeps kind of toppling over somewhat. I might have to stake it. Oh, as I just see, I only have a 1-gallon dropper here, so this needs a 2-gallon. But so this is sort of the low side of the property. So this area stays pretty wet and moist for the most part. So I'm hoping that before long it'll tap into the existing water here, the groundwater, just like the big sister over there, Cardaba. Big banana. All right, good enough for now. This might have to stake it. We'll see. Not today. Hey, June plum, loaded as always. Just never see anything ripe. These things take so long to ripen up. I'm so bored with this tree, but it's a dwarf. So long to ripen up. I'm so bored with this tree, but it's a dwarf. You know, plus the leaves are edible, so this becomes part of the jungle salad that I'll make here sometime soon on video. Salad that I'll make here sometime soon on video. So I put the right next to the dwarf June plum, which is right next to the longan, Kohala longan, which gets humongous. So this here can handle being somewhat shaded out. Same thing with this Mangosteen, which is next to the lychee, the Mauritius lychee, which this will also become huge. So eventually these two here will be somewhat shaded out, but not too crowded. Next to the lychee, I have green wax jambu, which supposedly is also somewhat of a compact grower, medium size. So I don't think it's going to be competing too bad with this here. And then on the other side of the wax jambu, there's a mango and a Grumichama banana, etc. So, and the Sapodilla morena. This is an exciting one here. Water. Might have to change the water dripper there too. This is not even a 1 gallon. This is a half a gallon an hour. But it's doing fantastic. I mean, couldn't look any healthier. So it has not fruited for me yet. So it's probably too shaded out here. I'm gonna have to somewhat cut back these ornamentals around it. Early on, when I first moved onto this property, I planted outlines, the framework, to sort of establish a microclimate in here, and wind protection and all that good stuff. Sort of establish a microclimate in here, and wind protection and all that good stuff. All right. So the big pear, I think I'm going to do the big pear, and it's a sand pear, or like an Asian kind of pear. Looks like big and round. I'm probably going to put that one in the back over there, and then the honey jar jujube further down even, so it's going to get full sunlight, no protection from anything down there. So I don't know if how that pear is going to take to it, thing down there. So I don't know if how that pear is going to take to it, but it wasn't doing anything in the shade. We'll see. jujube, pear. I got a key lime that I got to do something with. It's a thorny tree, and I'm not a fan of this. The jujube also, so that's why they'll get special spots, special considerations. The key lime and the jujube, because they're both very thorny trees. So yeah, these pears, they just get sunburned, so they get Florida heat. So by planting it now in the fall, I'm hoping it's going to really take to the new location. And so next time around, I'm going to be planting this kaffir lime, which is an amazing tree to have for the leaves. This peanut butter fruit tree, it's putting on a fruit set right now. The key lime, the pear, and the jujube. So all of those I'm gonna plant next time. All right, oh shoot. As they say, like, subscribe, tune in next time. Some more jungle adventures here. Insomniac food forest sessions. This is my meditation right here. That's how I de-stress.